गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पतः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् वेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स न पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वानामेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसि तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूज्य पृथ्वी बहुलाय उर्वी भवतोकाय तनयाय शय्यो विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुं दधावातुरितातिपर्षि अग्ने अग्रिवन्मनसा गृहाणो स्वागं भोज्यविता तनुना पृतनाजिकगुं सहमानमुद्रमग्निगुं भुवेम परमात् सदस्तात् सरपर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्षामदेवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रद्योषिकमीर्यो अध्वरेषु सना च होतानव्यश्च सत्सि स्वाचाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यं च सौभगमायजस्वा जुष्टमयुजो विषिक्तं तवेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेमा नागस्य पृष्ठमभिसंवसानो वैष्णवीनो वैनादयन्ताम् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गी प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मार्गाहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर। अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मामत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर। हरि ओम् तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
Respected elders, dear aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, and children, Jai Sai Ram. A very warm welcome to our Region 5 Aradhana Mahotsavam Day programme being broadcasted on YouTube. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Harsha and I'm from the Sri Sathya Sai Centre of Warrington. I have the great privilege of taking you through today's programme. Now let's begin with the welcome note from Brother Kamal, President of the Sri Sathya Sai Centre of Bradford.
My most loving and humble pranams at the Divine Lotus feet. Beloved Swami, respected elders, brothers, sisters and children, Jai Sai Ram. With the inspiration of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and the love and blessings he has bestowed upon us, Region 5 has organised this programme during these difficult times that are facing humanity. Whilst we cannot be together in person, devotees from across the region have come together and organised a programme of Vedam, bhajans, dance, SSE items and talks to present at the Divine Lotus feet. The 24th of April every year is significant for those who love and revere our beloved Swami. It is on this day that he left his mortal coil. However, someone who embodies the eternal values of truth, righteousness, peace, love and non-violence can never leave. Swami continues to live in the hearts of people who hold him dear. Mahotsavam means great festival. This may seem to be an irony. What is it that we should be celebrating on this day? It should be a celebration in the commemoration of the ascent of the avatar of the age, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, from physical plane of existence to become the omnipresent, all-pervading reality. This day should be observed joyously as the day Swami arrived in our hearts. Swami has moved from the Yajura Mandir to the Hridaya Mandira. Whilst there may be physical separation, the common thread that binds our hearts will bring us together in this program, the Aradhana Mahotsavam. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Kamal, for setting the scene. Today, we have a number of offerings to Swami to look forward to. The first of which is an invocation dance from SSE Halifax. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thank you, Prakriti, for that beautiful dance. I'm sure everyone enjoyed watching that. I'll now hand you over to Brother Narendra, who will introduce the next item from SSE Bradford.
My most loving and humble pranams at the Divine Lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Dear brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties and children, Jai Sai Ram. This is Narendra Bhai from Bradford Science Centre. Our children today are offering at the Lotus feet a bouquet of lovely quotations from personalities in our history. These personalities embodied the human values. I hope by the end of the clip, you are able to recognize who the personalities are before the children reveal who they are. I just want to thank all the gurus, the parents and the children for all their hard work and effort. Unfortunately, not all children could take part. Some were poorly and due to other family commitments. I hope you enjoy these little clips of gems. Thank you. Sai Ram. Bye.
Jai Sai Ram. I'm going to read a passage representing love, in which was strongly reinforced by Nelson Mandela fighting for the freedom of Africa. He says, "No one is born hating another person because of the colour of their skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For that, love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." And this is a picture of Nelson Mandela.
Om Sai Ram. Namaste everyone. What sort of thoughts people should have?
You are what your thoughts are made, so take care about what you think. Thoughts live, they travel far. At the same time, don't overthink. Overthinking can lead to negative thoughts.
Do we need to fear for anything, or should we be fearless?
Be not afraid of anything. You will do marvelous work. The moment you fear, you are nobody. It is fear that is the great cause of misery in the world. It is the fear that is the greatest of all superstition. It is fear that is the cause of our woes, and it is fearlessness that brings heaven in a moment. The earth is enjoyed by heroes. This is the unfailing truth. Be a hero. Always say, I have no fear. Therefore, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Om Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram. Today I am going to talk about inspirational values from Mother Teresa. She also believed in universal brotherhood and says that she loves all religions. Do It Anywhere, written by Mother Teresa, reveals all her values. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. forgive them anyway. If you are kind people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as though you were working for the Lord and not for people. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram everyone, I have 2 quotes to share with you. Number 1, love all, serve all. Help ever, hurt never. Number 2, before you speak, ask yourself, is it kind, is it necessary, is it true? Who am I? Satya Sai Baba.
Jai Sai Ram. Today I'm going to speak about Rani Lakshmi Bai. She is the queen of Jhansi and she is a brave warrior. She walked on the path of truth and right conduct. Don't fear for any obstacles in your way. Face with courage. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Saram. Today I'm going to be speaking about Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He was the 10th Guru of Sikhism. He transformed the Sikh faith by initiating the Khalsa, which is another word for the Sikh community. Guru Gobind Singh Ji also introduced many of the customs that Sikhs live by today, for example, the 5Ks. He said, do not gossip, slander, or be spiteful towards others. He also said, do everything you can to help aid foreigners, those in need, or those in trouble. Jai
Saram. I'm going to talk about Shravan Kumar. Shravan Kumar was famous for taking his blind and disabled parents on a pilgrimage. Does anyone know why it is? It is a spiritual journey through the Hindu temples. In the story, he's mistaken for a boar by Lord Ram's father, known as King Dashrath of Ayodhya. In order to carry his parents, he invented a balancing-like device where he could carry them both on his strong shoulders. While on their journey, they ate fruit from bushes and trees and refused to eat what other people would offer them. They reached a forest near a place in Ayodhya. Soon they felt thirsty and asked Shravan to get some water to quench their thirst. Shravan left his parents in the forest and went to a river to bring them water. On that day, the king had intended to hunt. In fact, he was a very good hunter too. So he stepped into the forest. The king had a gift and was known for throwing his arrow from miles just by hearing a noise. So when Shravan dipped the vessel to collect water, it produced a sound. By hearing this, the king got mistaken as the sound of a deer drinking water. He aimed his arrow from where the sound was coming from and threw it. The arrow breezed through the air and pierced straight into the chest of Shravan Kumar. He cried out of pain and eventually fell on the ground. King Darshan then cursed himself for the innocent loss of life. The tragedy is that every woman wants her son to be like Shravan, who symbolizes a virtuous son, who placed his parents with above his own comfort and wishes, who took the trouble of taking them on a pilgrimage with purest of intentions, while tragically losing his own life. and therefore Shravan Kumar is remembered. Jai Sairam.
Thank you, children, for reminding us of those very important inspirational leaders and the qualities that we should aspire to. I'll now hand over to Brother Kethan, our Region 5 Spiritual Coordinator, who will be introducing Droplets of Love.
Jai Sairam, everyone. For today's Droplets of Love session, we have with us Mrs. Leela Patel, a member of Sri Satya Sai Centre of Bolton. Jai Sairam, Leela Auntie.
Jai Sairam, Ketan.
So to start with, can you tell us how you came to know Swami?
It was a long time ago, around 1973-74, when I was living with my family in Wolverhampton. We used to go to weekly bhajans, and a devotee called Ratilal Bhai, they came to know Baba a lot, and it was through them that really I got to know about Swami, hear about his miracles. I read a book about Swami, and at that particular time, Swami was performing loads of miracles, and one real miracle actually happened in Ratilal Bhai's own house. His son had lost his eyesight in both eyes, and Baba actually performed a miracle on him when they went to Purti, and he got his eyesight back. So it was something there for me to see that, yes, you know, Baba is performing such great miracles, and there's no one else, an ordinary person could do that, or only God could make that happen. So hearing about all these different miracles of Swami and Vibhuti and all that sort of deepened my faith in Swami. And then I knew that, you know, he may look like a normal, ordinary person, but he's actually God himself. So that's from where my faith grew in him.
Lovely. And so obviously since you've moved to Bolton, so how has your journey continued?
When I moved to Bolton, in the beginning, I didn't really know anything about Swami's bhajans or anything here. My family here weren't actually into anything like that. But it was many years later, it was just Baba's doing really, because I hadn't lost faith in Swami. I still had faith in Swami. I still did my daily prayers and everything, and always remembered Swami in everything really, because you come across so many obstacles and, you know, things in life. And I happened to meet Gomti Ben in town, and she said, do you know, I have bhajans on a Friday. I says, oh, very nice, I'd love to come. So by that time we'd moved and had our own house and whatever, so I started going to bhajans then. And it was actually after that I found out about Saita Ben's house. There were bhajans going on Thursday there, and I used to fast on a Thursday, so I started going there, and that's how it all began, really, many years after I was married.
It's just amazing how Swami guides us.
That's right.
And kind of brings us to him in so many different ways.
Yeah. And things just don't just happen. You know, I think Swami makes them happen. So that was Swami making me meet with Gomti Ben and me finding about what was happening in Bolton. So that's how we started in Bolton.
Fantastic. So what position does Swami hold in your life?
To me, initially, Swami started off as a guru, because everything he was teaching just, to me, I wanted to follow. And to me, he's become a mother as well, Ma Saima, because personally, my parents went to India after I was married. And, you know, when you live away from your family, Baba was my only everything, really. So he was my mother, father, everything. But I remember once praying to Swami with my heart and saying, Saima, please hold my hand and be with me all the time. And I actually saw Swami in my dream about that. So Swami actually came in my dream, and in my dream, I walked through this door and Swami was there sitting in the corner in a chair, and he stood up and he offered his hand to me. And then he said, can't remember what he said to me, but then he guided me to go downstairs, and I went there, and there was a massive Shirdi Baba's Murti there and everything. So it just confirms your, Swami just confirms it that he is listening to you, your prayers all the time.
Yes, and I was just going to say that, what a beautiful confirmation from him.
Yes, yeah.
So, do you have any other experiences which define your relationship with Swami?
Yes, my very first, there's lots of really nice experiences I've had before actually meeting Swami in his physical form, but I'll share the one particular one, and that is when in 2001 I went to Puttaparthi in a group, and Swami actually granted an interview to the whole group. So we were all in the mandir together, all the doors and windows closed and everything. And when Swami entered, he had a big smile on his face, I still remember. And he sat there, we sung bhajans, and he'd requested the bhajans to be sung continuously, like not even pausing one after the other. So we did that, and then Anil Kumar and Swami talked to us, and I remember a couple of things that he said, something like, always be careful, ABC, and then he said, why have you come here? I'm always there with you. So, that kind of things really stuck with me, because Swami was one that never wanted people to spend money unnecessarily traveling, because he just wanted us to know that I'm there with you regardless whether you come here or not. And then he materialized a lingam and gave it to one of the guys in the group, and then he instructed us all to sit on the floor facing each other, and so we all got to get Pad Namaskar. So Swami passed through us and we all got Pad Namaskar, and when Swami passed by me and my sister, he put his hand on my head and said, good girl. And so you can imagine my feeling. I was just absolutely in tears, and tears of joy, of course. But, that was my first ever contact with Swami, and one that I always remember and always refer to and cherish.
What a beautiful blessing.
Yes.
And like you said, one that can stay with you forever. When
Yes.
you're feeling down or not so good, you can always think back to that and remember that ever blessing is with you.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Leela Aunty, for sharing such a beautiful experience.
Pleasure.
So, Leela Aunty, you've been the service coordinator at Bolton Centre since 2016. So what has encouraged you or moved you to take this service path?
I was already doing some seva work at home for the family, looking after my mother for many years, and also at times my mother-in-law, and helping out my family as well. And when those roles were not there anymore, I had times on my hands, so I prayed to Swami that I really, really wanted to continue doing some seva activities, and I prayed to Swami that that I would be involved in something. And that's when actually, with Swami's grace, the role became available to me, and I was offered the role. And although I didn't know what I had to do, I still accepted and went from there.
Great. So, Leela Aunty, how has this service route helped you personally?
I think service has kept me connected with Swami's teachings. Love all, serve all, hands that serve are holier than lips that pray. And that actually really stuck with me, because Swami emphasizes many a times that no matter how many bhajans you do, how much chanting you do, if you don't do any service, then your life is not worthwhile, because that is the whole purpose of your life, to love all and serve all.
Lovely. And Swami also says like Manav Seva is Madhav Seva.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So do you think with Swami's grace that you've been able to inspire others on this service journey?
Yes, I think so. Through the service coordinator role, I've organized to do Gayatri chanting at the hospital and also at the hospice. And many people have come forward to come and join and be part of it. So it just goes to show that, you know, you can inspire other people.
So Gayatri chanting is a very spiritual activity, but why do you see it as a service activity?
Because Gayatri mantra is the mantra, as Baba used to say, and it gives out so much positive energy around. So you can imagine all those people who are ill and suffering with some kind of illness or whatever, you know, it does them the world of good to receive all these good vibrations. So that's the way we're serving them spiritually.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today, Leela Auntie. Sairam.
Sairam, pleasure.
Thank you, Leela Auntie, for sharing your memories and experiences with us. It's now time for a 20-minute break, so grab yourselves a drink and stretch your legs. During the break, we will be playing a Region 5 musical from 2010, so please do stay logged on. See you shortly.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Avar Allah noor paaya, kudrat ke sab bande ek noor de sab jagat diya. Ram Hare Hari Naam Bolo, 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 Hari Naam Bolo, Hari Naam मेरी साईं सच्ची साईं तुम हो। ईशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाह हो मेरी साईं सच्ची साईं तुम हो। ईशु पिता प्रभु अल्लाह हो मेरी साईं सच्ची साईं तुम हो। पद में हम, ओम आने पद में हम, ओम आने पद में हम, ओम आने पद में हम,
And welcome back. I hope you had a good break and are feeling refreshed and enjoyed the Region 5 musical from 2010. Our next few items are a compilation from SSE children across Region 5. They will be sharing with you stories, poems, and readings. They've been very excited and working hard, so do enjoy.
Dear all, let's all come together and pray to Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, to relieve all the people in the world from suffering and pain caused by the coronavirus. Sai Ram. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Niraviknam Kurame Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada.
Sai Ram. I know Papa is always with me because I'm safe, healthy and well looked after. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sai Ram, thank you.
Sai Ram. Recently, the WHO has declared the new coronavirus outbreak a pandemic. So many people have lost their lives. The situation is very bad. Swami says prayers can even move mountains. I think the best remedy for this situation is the Namasmarna. Swami says the Namasmarna is the king of all the sadhanas. By doing the Namasmarna, our spiritual bank balance multiplies. So let us all do the Namasmarna and win Swami's Anugraha to save people from the coronavirus. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Jai Sai Ram.
What is duty? One day a young saint went to a forest and meditated and practiced yoga for a long time. After 12 years of hard work and practice, he was sitting under a tree when some dried leaves fell upon his head. He looked up and saw a crow and a crane fighting on the top of the tree, and he became very angry. He said, "What? You dare throw those dry leaves upon my head?" And as he looked at them with anger, a flash of fire burst from his head and burnt the birds to ashes. He was amazed and almost overjoyed at this immense development of power. He could burn at a glance the crow and the crane, and he became very proud. After some time, he went into the town to beg for alms. He came and stood at a door and said, "Mother, give me food." A voice came from inside the house. "Wait a little, my son." The young man became angry and thought, "How dare you make me wait? You do not know my power yet." While he was thinking this, the voice came again. "Boy, don't think too much of yourself. Here is neither crow nor crane." He was astonished, but he had to still wait. At last a woman came out, and he fell at her feet and said, "Mother, how did you know that?" She said, "My boy, I do not know your yoga and your practices. I am a common everyday woman, but I made you wait because my husband is ill and I was nursing him, and that is my duty. As a daughter, when I was unmarried, I did my duty. Now when I am married, I still do my duty. This is all the yoga I practice, and by doing my duty, I have become illumined. I could read your thoughts and saw what you had done in the forest. But if you want to know something higher than this, go to the market and there you'll find a butcher, and he will tell you something that you will be very glad to learn. The saint thought it strange that a common butcher could teach him anything spiritual, but after what he had just seen, his mind was opened a little. So he went, and when he came near the city, he found the market, and there, at a distance, a big, fat butcher was slashing away at animals with a big knife, fighting and bargaining with different people. The young man said, "Lord, help me! Is this the man from whom I'm going to learn? If he is anything, he's the incarnation of a demon." Then suddenly the man looked up and said, "Swami, did that lady send you here? Take a seat until I've done my business." The saint thought, "What am I doing here?" But he took a seat and waited.
After he had finished all his selling and taking his money, the butcher said to the saint, "Sir, please come to my house." They went there, and the butcher gave him a seat and said, "Please wait." So saying, he went into the house and bowed before his father and mother. He bathed them, fed them, and did all he could to please them, and then came and took a seat before the saint and said, "Now, sir, you have come here to see me. What could I do for you?" Then this great saint asked him a few questions about life and God, and the butcher gave him a lecture which is now a very celebrated book in India, the Vidya Gita. When the butcher had finished, the saint was astonished. He said, "What are you doing in this body with all the knowledge you possess? Why are you in a butcher's body doing such filthy, ugly work?" "My son," replied the butcher, "no duty is ugly and no duty is impure. My birth circumstances and environment were these. In my boyhood I learnt the trade of my father. I am attached and I tried to do my duty well. I tried to do all I could make my father and mother happy. I neither know your yoga nor have become a saint. I never gave up the world, nor went to the forest. But all this has come to me through doing my duty and staying in my position."
Om Shri Sai Ram.
Today is Mahasamadhi Day. Mahasamadhi Day is the day when a god left his physical form and came back to us as his formless self. Have you ever felt his formless self, Sai?
Actually, I have. One day, a few years ago, we were going to a safari. That safari was kind of like a drive-through safari, so we would drive through all the animals which would be on each side, and they would not be caged, which I guess was cool, but it's kind of dangerous as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's why it was really scary when our petrol was running extremely low.
Oh yes, I think I remember. That's when our parents told us to chant the Gayatri Mantra.
Yeah, we prayed continuously. And I think that's what saved us at the last minute, actually. So when we were driving through the wild animals, we saw the petrol going up and up and up. And that does not happen unless you're filling the petrol. So it was a miracle. It was great.
That's great. Thank God we got out of the lion zone.
Yes, and we got out to see the other animals, and we got petrol, and we went home all safely.
So does this mean that God can hear our prayers?
Of course he can.
So I'm going to pray for the pandemic to stop.
I'm going to pray for it to stop because I really want to go and play outside with my friends and see my friends. And I can't believe I'm saying this, and go to school. Okay, Om Shri Sai Ram.
Sarah.
We, the children of Warrington SSC, would like to share a Chinnakatha story with you all. It is called No Gratitude, No Grace.
Once, Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva saw a person sitting on top of a tree branch which was about to break. Watching this, Mother Parvati pleaded with Lord Shiva to help save the man.
Ishwara teasingly remarked, "Why should I help protect him? Since you saw him first, it is your duty to save him."
But the mother said, "How can I protect him without your grace? I am the negative and you are the positive. Unless you shower your grace on him, he cannot be saved. Please do not delay any further."
Then Ishwar replied, "It is not his duty to call me for help. How can I go to his rescue without being called?"
The proverb, you can't attend a function without being invited.
At any cost. So she said to Ishwara, "If that person, when he falls down, cries Amma, I will go to his rescue. And if he cries out Appa, you should protect him." Ishwara agreed to her proposal. They were both eagerly waiting for when the person fell down, but when he fell down, he cried out, "Ayo!"
The words Amma or Appa did not come to his lips, as he had never respected his parents in his lifetime. Such was his fate.
How can God come to the rescue of a person who has totally forgotten his parents? Both our mother and father are verily God. And when with such feelings we offer our gratitude to our parents, even God cannot refrain from helping us.
Sarah.
Hello everyone, Jai Sairam. My name is Nirav Patel and I am from the Bali class of Bolton. Throughout my time in Bali class, I have learned many core values that should be spread around the world today. These core values can be like being kind, respecting others. As well as this, I have learnt to value things and value what people do for us that are beneficial. This is the reason why I have written a poem for the NHS in Nightingale. Thank you to the NHS, your hard work really shines in times when we are under stress through these troubled times. Tries to help us selflessly. Yes, that was a success. So I'd like to say in this poem of mine, thank you to the NHS. Thank you for listening. Stay home, stay safe. Jai Sairam.
Sairam, my name is Liam Patel. I am from the Balvi class of Bolton. We learn a lot of values at Balvi class. One of the values is gratitude. This is to show thanks and our appreciation to someone else. Another one is service, to do something for someone else, like to help the elderly or something. Here is my poem that I have wrote to NHS to go to the Nightingale Hospital to say thanks. The time has come. Another pandemic has begun. 2020 collapsing into a large grey dust. But yet we adjust. The NHS still fight whilst they help us sleep through these troubled nights. Each member a sacrifice whilst a nasty virus bites. We all stand together fighting against the fears of stormy weather. We go out and clap together to thank the NHS forever. Thank you, NHS. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you, children, for those fantastic offerings to Swami. Next, we will hear from our guest speaker, Brother Girdhar. He's an alumnus of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Puttaparthi. He currently lives in the UK with his family and is a very active member of the Sri Satya Sai Centre of Mill Hill. He's given talks all over the UK and we're very excited to hear from him today.
Om Sahasrasirasha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtat Dashangulam. My most humble and loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. the Bhagwan, the Swami, who has very lovingly taught us that he has thousands of eyes, thousands of limbs, pervades this entire universe and is present in each one of us, is present for each one of us, is guiding each one of us, protecting us, not just during these difficult times, but at all times. To that most loving Swami, who is ever present with us, who has no beginning, no end, to that most loving Swami, I offer myself my loving salutations, my most humble pranams. Brothers, sisters, and most respected elders, my loving Sai Ram to each one of you. My thoughts go back to those days of early years of Swami, when he wrote that historic letter to his brother, wherein he explained the purpose of his avatar and his mission. And I think it's very important for us to remind ourselves and to remember what those declarations have been, because those are not just ordinary declarations of some saint. These are eternal, timeless declarations. Swami said, I have a task. And to quote what Swami wrote in Telugu to his brother, he said, Akhila manavulaku anandamanunagurchi rakshinchutunute dikshanaku. To foster all mankind and to fill people's lives with ananda or bliss is my task. And please note here, brothers and sisters, back in those days when he was a 20-year-old person, Swami wrote Akhila Manavulaku, for all of mankind. He did not say, I will protect my devotees. He did not say, I will protect Indians. He did not say, I will protect Hindus. With no distinction of caste, creed, nationality, not even going to the aspect of whether they are atheists or devotees. Without making any such distinction, he gave a universal proclamation, a declaration which said, to foster all mankind and to fill everybody's lives with bliss is his task. He also said, I have a vow to lead all who have strayed away from the path, from the straight path, as Swami put it, back into the path of goodness and save them. And that's very important to note. He said to save them, because Swami is very clear that those who have strayed from the path of dharma, the straight path is basically the path of dharma. So those who have strayed away from that path of dharma need to be protected. And that is his vow. And he further said, there is a work that he loves, which is to remove the suffering from the poor and grant them what they lack. And the poor here is not just financially poor. It is all kinds of moral poverty, it is dharmic poverty, it is poverty of all kinds. So all people who are poor, he has come to enrich every one of those and grant them what they lack. To some he grants confidence, to some he grants courage, to some he grants money because that's what they need to live their lives. To some he grants other things. And More importantly, he has come to grant peace and happiness to one and all. And finally, in that historic, momentous letter, Swami also said, I will never give up those who attach themselves to me. And it is very important and of course useful for us to remember that one declaration of Swami. Swami has said in several of his discourses, Nammi chedinavadu ledu, which means that anyone who has put faith in him has never been let down. And I'm sure it is the experience of each one of us that if we have sincerely prayed and called out to Bhagwan, he has always been there. Never mind whether he is in his physical form or not. Never mind pre-2011, post-2011, these are just dates. For Swami, we are always his children. He is always there for us. And we are always there for him to work through. So that brings me to that question, and I was thinking about why did we come to Swami? Without a doubt, we are all very fortunate. We are all very blessed indeed that we have come to know of Swami. Maybe the right thing would be to say we are blessed that Swami has called us to him, because who are we after all to know him? Of all the billions of people on earth, hardly a few millions have been blessed with the opportunity to go to him. So obviously we did not do something big that we found him. The truth is he found us, he called us. But why did he call us to him? How did he call us to him? Swami once explained when he started the college, he likened the college and the degrees that the college offers to the butter that Mother Yashoda would hold in her hand. So Krishna would get attracted to butter and he would come to her, otherwise he would run away. So with that attraction, Krishna would come to her, but she would be hiding a stick in her other hand behind her. And so when Krishna would come to her lured by the attraction of the butter, she would teach him the lesson that she wanted to teach him. And in much the same way, Swami has created this college and all the circumstances around which have become the calling cards for Swami and for us to go to him. The truth is, he has not called us, and we have not just gone to him to have some health problems sorted, our employment problems sorted, some marriage in the family problems sorted. These are only excuses. We all know this. Swami came to teach us something which is much bigger. So what is it that Swami has come to teach us? Swami has most importantly come to teach us the secret of happiness. Swami has first of all taught us that what we see around in this world is not what we should be aspiring for. Before I joined the college, for me, spirituality did not exist. Spirituality was a concept that was alien. Everyone would say that spirituality and these pravachans and these are kind of things that people engage in after their retirements, maybe after the age of 60, and some people are busy even after that. So essentially the connotation was that if you did not have anything else to do, then you would engage in these activities. But when I joined the institute, and listening to Swami was complete an entry into a different world. It was not just an eye-opener, it was an entry into a different world, which taught me that this world and everything that it has to offer is not really what I should be craving for. And of course, that's not a lesson that is easily learnt. I remember somebody was telling me, Swami said he is like a wild horse in solitude. So when you look at that horse, you will feel tempted and say, yeah, this looks like a horse that I can ride. I can manage this horse. So you approach that horse, and the horse is still not pushing you away. It is still welcoming. And so you say, this looks good. Let me go for a ride. So you mount the horse, still behaving well. You start riding, and suddenly then the horse starts to behave in a way that you will likely be thrown off, and you will panic a little bit. And just as you panic and you think that it's time to jump and run away, the horse calms down, and you think that, now you've got the horse under control, so you've figured out. And then you go some more distance, and then again the horse behaves in this way. And so every time you feel you've got a sense of how to control and handle this horse, the horse will throw you off balance or seeks to throw you off balance. So Swami keeps putting these kind of tests and situations through which he will teach us that we have not yet reached that point we are supposed to be reaching. And indeed, Swami keeps saying, test is my taste. It gives us a taste of where we are, of what our reality is, the reality of where we are in our journey, so that we can calibrate ourselves. Swami talked about what are the qualities of a devotee he is looking for. And one of the first things actually that Swami said, for someone, like an entry criteria, the entry criteria for someone to be able to enter the palace or the kingdom of God and get in the queue for being a devotee is to do three things. Give up smoking, give up alcohol, and give up eating non-vegetarian food. Swami said that is an entry criteria. So once we have passed through those, once we have ticked those boxes and we pass through that, we then start our journey. We enroll in the course of the Divine Master. And he will keep putting us through various tests. There is no time frame for that course. You do that course at your convenience and at whatever pace you are able to do. How do you measure your progress? In your normal colleges and in other places, even in our workplaces, we have an end of the year performance appraisal. In colleges for students, they have regular periodic tests, they have end of the year exams, and which will tell them they have passed or failed. What exam does Swami have? How do we measure ourselves? And so that is where these tests that Swami puts us through will come in. But as an indication for us, Swami talked about 6 qualities that he expects his devotees to have. And in fact, Swami wrote this, he mentioned this in his letter that he wrote to his brother. He said, someone who is not affected by joy and sorrow, by gain and loss, who takes both of those with equal fortitude, such a person is his devotee. So Swami's definition of who can qualify to be his devotee is very clear. This is also being mentioned by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, where in the 12th chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Anapeksha suchir daksha, udasino gatavyataha, sarvaramba parityagi, yomad bhakta same priyaha. And in this, there are the 6 qualities of the devotee that God looks for. And Swami mentioned this in one of his interactions, or actually in multiple interactions with students. I'm not an expert in this, and nor is this a lecture on Bhagavad Gita. So I'll just briefly touch upon the meaning of these 6 qualities that Swami mentioned. So, anapeksha is being free of desires. Now this is something that Swami has been stressing on in multiple ways. There is also the Sealing on Desires program that Swami has encouraged all of us to have. Being free of desires. At the highest level, the desire to see God is also a desire, Swami said. But that is for later. So being free of desires is one quality. The second one is suchi, which is purity. Some people call it cleanliness, some people call it purity. And this is the internal cleanliness and the external cleanliness. The internal purity and the external purity. The internal purity is also what Swami calls as chitta suddhi. Is the purity of mind, the purity of intent, purity of purpose for whatever we do. And Swami has said multiple times that the right action done with the wrong intention is, in his opinion, a bad one. So in other words, doing seva for, let's say, a poor or a helpless person, to do some seva for such a person is definitely a noble act, is definitely good. But if it is done with the wrong intention, with the intention of ego, thinking that only I could do this, or see how I'm helping so many people, or to say I have done so much work in my capacity as whatever, a seva coordinator or the seva head. These are kind of things that the intentions are wrong. So the right act done with the wrong intention is still wrong. The purity of intent and purpose is very important for Swami. The third quality is daksha. Daksha is to become an expert. An expert in what? It is to become an expert in what is prescribed in the scriptures or as per the dharmic tradition. Things that are in line with the dharma. To become an expert in that is what Bhagavan expects. Now, why is this an important quality? If I want to do some good, if I want to progress on the path of spirituality, it is very important that I know what is right and wrong. If I do not know how to separate what is right and wrong, how would I follow what is right? And how would I perfect I don't know if I should say the art, but at least the way, the method of doing what is right? time and time again. So therefore it is very important to perfect that, to become an expert in that. For example, anger management. It's not enough if I once manage to control my anger. Time and time again, every time I am provoked, if I am able to not yield and react to that situation, then that means that I have really either mastered or controlled. So to become an expert in those things that are prescribed and required is very essential for us to be able to do even the other things, to achieve the other qualities. So third aspect or the third quality is daksha. The fourth one is udasino. Udasino means being indifferent. Indifferent to what? Being indifferent to everything which is not in the pursuit of your spiritual goal. Being indifferent and turning a blind eye to everything that can potentially distract you and take you away from your pursuit. Gatavyataha. That is not being affected by sorrow, by pleasure and pain. Now this one keeps coming back again and again as a quality that Swami expects us. And finally, sarvaramba parityagi, which means that you don't begin to engage in other activities. In activities that are detrimental to your goal and to your path, to your pursuit. In order for us to be able to achieve all of these things, now all of this sounds like, very difficult, very theoretical, it's not something that I can achieve. I'm sitting here, I'm a doctor, I am a teacher, I am a, let's say a customer service executive. I have my regular work. How do I marry these two? Of course I have an interest. Of course I want to please Swami. I do want to reach that stage of eternal happiness that Swami says is the final treasure that everyone should see. Yes, I want to do that, but I'm here. This is my regular day job, or I'm a student. How do I go from here to there? This is the question that I keep asking myself, and that I'm sure comes in everybody's minds. And the answer that Swami has given us is prayer. You keep praying to Bhagwan all the time, continuously, and He will keep guiding us. And with that, I offer my most humble and loving pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet and pray to Him. Whatever we may say about, we need to have faith, we need to have this, we need to have that. Swami, end of the day, You are my everything. You give me everything. You hold me. You carry me. And each one of us. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Uncle, for taking the time to record your reflections and sharing them with us. I'm sure that all of us will take something from what you have said. Our next item is from SSE Halifax.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to Corona times. Despite being 450 times smaller than the width of a human hair, the COVID-19 virus has done a pretty good job at crippling the entire world, our economy and our way of life.
But not everything is as bad as it looks. If you look on the brighter side of life,
there's much more cleaner air to breathe in.
Rivers are reviving with clean water. CO2 emissions are less.
And most importantly, people are beginning to understand what is actually necessary and essential.
Yes, bro. Certainly our way of thinking has changed a lot. Let's reflect on how it has changed. Eat it all up, Siddha. If you leave anything, Mum will start a lecture on don't waste food and there are many people starving, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is how me not wasting food helps someone starving.
Exactly. Wow, Siddha, you eat all the food on your plate without wasting anything.
Because of the ration, I have understood the value of food, and that it is definitely not right to waste essential things like it. Moreover, I realise so much hard work has gone into producing, processing, delivering, and cooking of the food.
Yes, we may have learnt it the hard way, but at least we have learnt why Swami says, food waste is life waste.
I know. Amma is looking and will show her wisdom if you take so much paper for just wiping your mouth.
I know, as if I'm damaging the whole environment, Earth, with a little bit of paper.
Super saving of the paper, bro. I appreciate it.
You know, Siddha, I take my words back about damaging the environment. I realise even small acts like saving paper can have an impact on the environment, but most importantly, our shopping trips. Siddha, come on, Daddy's calling for prayers and bhajans.
Oh no, always prayers and bhajans. I'll be so bored.
Exactly, as if the whole world needs our prayers.
Yeah.
Siddha, it's 9 o'clock prayer time. Come on, let's go.
After chanting Gayatri Mantra for the well-being of the world, we will sing bhajans and I play kanjira. By the way, bhajans are fun for me nowadays.
What a transformation. I too realise the importance of prayers and they're the only thing which we can do for us and for the world at the present times.
Yes, I agree. Now we are starting to appreciate the hard work of all key workers, like doctors, nurses, delivery people, binmen, etc., etc. Moreover, we are starting to understand the interconnectedness of the whole world.
Yes, Siddha. Now we realise why it's not only our family's well-being that's important, but the well-being of our neighbours, friends and people in every country.
When the normal life returns, let us not forget the lessons we learn in these times.
Yes, let us remember the values of appreciation, gratitude, prayer for the well-being of others, respect for nature and love for all life. Raghuvira Ranadhira Rama 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 Raghuvira Ranadhira Rama 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 Raghumari Vittala Shama 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 Raghumari Vittala Shama 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 Sukumara Sundara Rama 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 Sukumara Sundara Rama 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 Siradi Sapati Shama 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 Siradi Sapati Shama 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 Raghuvira Ranadhira Rama 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 Raghumari Vittala Shama 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 Sukumara Sundara Rama 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 Siradi Sapati Shama 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 Siradi Sapati Shama 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 Raghuvira Ranadhira Rama Rama Rama.
Thank you, children, for reminding us of just how important it is to look after the environment in which we live. Now, next up, we have our Region 5 President, Brother Sanjay, our resident poet. I can't wait to hear what he's been writing.
Sairam. This poem is called Blades of Grass. Not a blade of grass moves without Swami's will. His mission continues, which he's promised to fulfill. We can't understand our sweet Lord or his ways. One thing is for sure, this is all his divine play. Empty shelves, no sanitizer, panic buying and fear. Now everyone's rethinking what they thought was so dear. Sealing on desires has been rolled out to us all. How many can see it or hear the divine call? What's important to us is now becoming clear. Good health and simplicity, family and friends far and near. Taking care of our neighbours and looking out for others, loving all and serving all like sisters and brothers. What else can we do, knowing Swami's by our side? We're beacons of love, let's spread it far and wide. We are the ones who can share love and cheer, trust and surrender, why fear when Swami's here? Use this time to breathe, time to rest. The fact that we know Swami, our lives have been blessed. Spend time with your children or quietly reflect. Catch up on those things that in the past you'd neglect. See faces on video, watch the Sai Karuna talks. Connect with nature on your once daily walks. Remember Swami's teachings, this too will pass. Nothing can move without Swami's will, not even a blade of grass. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Sanjay. We always love listening to your poems, and this one was no exception. Our next item is from SSE Leeds.
Awakening of a dew. When the world sleeps and the sun comes out of its hiding place, as the birds awake and chirp the glory of your grace, I wonder whether I'm still on earth or the world beyond. After all, isn't the name of this place Prashanti, a word so profound? In this silence, when time almost seems to stand still, whilst the world around me is getting so busy in a drill, a thin cold breeze teases me to walk on and get going. Oh, what is this beautiful mesmerizing smell, and what is this beckoning? As I tread my eyes on the path towards the beautifully yet dimly lit temple, I see some beautiful rangoli being drawn, patterns forming like a ripple. My heart wonders, what is this world where even the skies seem to smile? People have now started sitting silently, yet in a disciplined file. Soon, a lock opens, a door beckons, a crowd walks in, yet ever so quiet. Where does this path lead me? I know not, but all I know in my heart is this feels right. In silence we all sit. A dimly lit light shows me the most beautiful Lord. Oh, but wait, they are now singing the primordial word. When the first Om reverberates this hall, oh, what a mighty feeling it is in my heart. The whole universe seems to now come into a piece. At the sound of where it all made a big start. As the Omkaram fills through the halls, flowers bloom, birds chirp, and peacocks dance. What is this wonderful sound which is so awakening, yet seems to set my heart in a trance? I feel the world around me coming to a close. I can feel the wind telling me it's time to go. Oh, how lucky are these flowers, birds, and people, for they don't have much to forego. In my last moments, I pray to you, Swami, thanking you for this chance that is granted to only a few. My life is blessed now that I have chanced a glimpse of you. After all, what more can I ask? I am just a dew.
Our beautiful Prashanti, with the gates open to a majestic Ganesha, awaiting and welcoming us, my heart just fills with bliss. As I walk, I am greeted with the sound of beautiful and melodious birds. I know I am in Prashanti, where the day begins with Omkaram and Suprabhatam to awaken the Lord. My mind beams up to the sound that created this world. As I walk through the streets and the lanes, singing bhajans at the break of dawn, I know I am in Prashanti, where no religion, no caste, no creed define a human, where only humanity, service is treated as a true religion. Where my mind is taught to focus on silence, I know I am in Prashanti. Where my heart can finally find some peace, where my mind can finally be quiet. Where my thoughts no longer wander,
I know I am in Prashanthi. For Prashanthi isn't just a place, and it can be attained only by grace, where our thoughts, minds and hearts focus fully on the Lord. There I know I have found my Prashanthi. Thank you.
Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? All I want is your love, my child. All I want is your faith. All I want is your love in God, no matter what's your faith. All I want is your love in God, no matter what's your faith. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here?
The light you see in the dark of night is that of God in man. Find the light that is in your heart and reach thy promised land. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Allah, all came to this land. All of them brought the message of love, to love your fellow man. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here?
That was beautiful. Thank you, SSE Children of Leeds. We are now approaching the end of today's programme, and Brother Sanjay will be concluding shortly. But before that, let us all participate in the closing prayers. Sairam.
समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शान्ति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai Sai Ram everyone. It has become a tradition to do a charitable seva during our regional programs. But considering the current situation, this is not entirely possible at the moment. Although we may be limited in the physical seva activities we can perform, we can take this time to work on our personal spiritual practices and provide spiritual seva for the world. Swami has often emphasised the importance and power of pure prayer, and with his blessings, the regional team have rolled out several sadhana initiatives for you all to join and connect in, but also to pray for the betterment of the world. Live bhajans take place every Sunday from 5:45 till 6:30 p.m. and live Rudram chanting conducted by the regional Rudram group takes place every Thursday from 8:15 till 9 p.m. Both of these you can access via the YouTube channel. Recently, we have started online Rudram classes for anybody who would like to improve their Vedam chanting, and this can be accessed via an online interactive platform. In addition to these group sadhana activities, it is important that we offer our personal sadhana also at this time to the world. Many of us from across the UK are joining in chanting 9 Gayatri mantras at 9 p.m. because Swami says Sarva Roga Nivarini Gayatri. Gayatri can remove all diseases. But we should also try to implement this across our whole day and try and offer as many of our prayers, chants, meditation for the well-being of the world at this time. If you have any questions on any of these sadhana activities, please don't hesitate to contact the regional team at region5@srisatyasai.org.uk. Please take care and stay safe. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram. Slightly different vote of thanks today because there's no altar team, there's no catering team, apart from those who've been eating at home, and there's no venue team. But instead, I'd like to put a thank you out to our social media team for putting together this programme, for collating all the videos, and especially to Vinesh and Jayesh for managing the whole thing really. It's been brilliant. I'd also like to thank Kamalbai. When we said earlier on in March that all the events were going to be cancelled, we left it at that, but then after a little while Kamalbai got in touch and said, why can we not do it online? Why can we not do the same programme but just do it online? And we said, okay, let's give it a go. And hopefully, as you've seen, it's been a wonderful programme. So thank you, Kamalbai, for giving the idea and for driving it forward. I'd also like to thank all the children, the parents and the gurus for all their hard work. As you can see, we've got very passionate and very creative SSE and very confident SSE children in the region as well. And their videos have been just lovely to watch. And instead of them being on stage, they've been either in their gardens or in their front rooms or wherever it may be. So it's just been lovely to see that. So again, thank you to all the children for all their contributions for the programme. I'd also like to thank our speakers. So Leela Auntie for her Droplets of Love and also for Sai Giridhar's talk as well. Very lucky to have good speakers. So thank you again to the speakers. I'd also like to thank Harsha, our MC, who's been helping just to keep the programme together with lots of little linky bits for the videos. So again, thank you very much for all your hard work for that, Harsha. And also I'd like to thank Swami, without whom obviously none of this would have been possible today. So thank you very much, Swami, for being with us. When I was thinking about the closing thoughts for today, a song popped into my mind. So I just wanted to just share that with you really. It's something that hopefully some of you will have heard before. And it goes like this. Let the love we're sharing spread its wings, fly across the world and bring new joy to every being that's alive. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy. It just felt appropriate for today's programme. I'd also like to mention that we have various channels of communication in the region as well. So not only do we have this YouTube channel, we also have Facebook pages and our Instagram account as well. So I'd really urge you to have a look at those and subscribe to those and just keep in touch with what's happening in our very busy region. And finally, the last thing I'd like to say is to wish you all, just ask you all to stay safe and keep in touch with each other. And hopefully we'll be in touch very, very soon and we get to see each other very soon as well. Jai Sai Ram.